Welcome, you deep diving gamers, to Game Scope, a podcast all about gaming. In this deep dive, we're tackling something really exciting, a big review roundup for the brand new Nintendo Switch 2 launch title, Donkey Kong Bananza.
That's right. It's finally here.
It is, and we've spent, well, countless hours swinging through stacks and stacks of critic reviews, digging into YouTube analyses, and even unearthing some pretty lively fan discussions from, the jungle of Reddit. Our mission today is basically to cut through all that noise, give you the unvarnished truth, and help you decide if this highly anticipated platformer is truly worth going ape for.
Yeah, think of it as your essential guide. We're here to synthesize what the entire gaming world is buzzing about.
Right. From those overwhelmingly positive scores, some setting records, actually to the few dissenting voices that kind of dared to challenge things.
Exactly. We'll explore why Donkey Kong Bananza is being called everything from a masterpiece to, well, just a good, honest video game, and what those labels actually mean.
Okay, get ready to punch through some preconception.
Let's do it.
So let's peel back the first layer of this banana. The scores. You've probably heard the buzz if you've been online at all.
Oh yeah, it's hard to miss.
As we speak, OpenCritic gives Donkey Kong Bananza an astonishing average of 91 out of 100. And get this, 100% of critics recommending it.
Wow, 100%.
Yeah, over on Metacritic, it holds a rock-solid 90 out of 100 based on over 90 critic reviews. That gets it the universal acclaim badge.
And it's not just critics loving it, right? The user score is holding strong, too.
It really is. An impressive 9.1 out of 10 from over 900 ratings already. I mean, that's a powerhouse debut.
Absolutely. And to really underscore that universal acclaim, you got to look at IGN. Huge name in reviews, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They dropped a perfect 10 out of 10 for Bananza. And this isn't just any 10. It's their first perfect score of 2025 and their first in over a year.
Wow. That's a monumental statement from them.
It really is. It puts Bananza in the same league as like Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Odyssey for them. That tells you for many people, this game isn't just good. It's like a new benchmark.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit because amidst all this, stratospheric praise, there's always got to be a wild card, hasn't there?
Always. There's always one.
And in this case, it's the gamer. They gave Donkey Kong Bananza a surprisingly low 5.0 out of 10.
Whoa, a 5.
Yeah.
It's a massive outlier compared to all the 9s and 10s.
Right. So what did they see that was so different? Well, the gamer acknowledged a baseline level of quality. They called it colorful and bouncy, even said it left them with a happy feeling.
Okay, so far so good.
But then came the unavoidable shortcoming. A sense that it could be great, but just wasn't quite there. They specifically criticized the bouncy nature of the platforming as a hindrance, like it wasn't precise enough.
Interesting.
And they felt the creativity, while there quickly became just aesthetic set dressing, looked cool, but didn't always change the gameplay deeply.
I see. So style over substance for them, maybe.
Kind of. They concluded it falls short of the perfection it aims for by playing a little safe.
This brings up a really crucial point when you look at game reviews, especially big ones like this. What does an outlier review like that actually tell us?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, it really highlights how much expectation can weigh on a game, right?
Yeah.
Especially one following Mario Odyssey and launching on the brand new Switch 2.
Sure.
For the gamer, it sounds like that happy feeling maybe came more from the charm, like the DK and Pauline chemistry.
Which they apparently liked.
Yeah, which they liked, but felt it was never fully expanded upon in like a meaningful gameplay way. It suggests they were maybe looking for deeper mechanical innovation that, for them, just wasn't quite met, despite all the visual flair.
Right. So if it's not quite a Mario, even with shared DNA, what is it? What's the core, according to most critics?
Well, the overwhelming consensus is that Donkey Kong Bananza really carves its own unique path. A very destructive path.
Ah, literally.
Literally. The central mechanic, the big new thing, is these destructible environments. DK can smash and break almost everything.
And Games Radar Plus really went for it, didn't they? They called this one of the best inventions Nintendo has had in years.
They did. And they had that great line, forget, see that mountain, you can go there. Now it's, see that mountain, you can obliterate it.
That's a bold claim, but it captures the feeling, I guess.
It does. And what's really cool is how this destruction isn't just, a visual gimmick. It's fundamental.
How so?
The Guardian described DK as a potassium-powered level editor. I love that phrase.
Ah, nice.
Capable of thumping tunnels through hills and pounding pristine lawns into muddy craters. IGN praised how much the game really commits to letting you tear through its environment.
So you're actively changing the levels as you play.
Exactly. And that pairs perfectly with DK's movement, which they called satisfyingly expressive. You're not just running through levels, you're sculpting them, reacting to them. It's a core part of the experience.
And you're doing this with his punches, right? Tearing
Okay.
chunks out of the ground.
Yep. You tear out huge chunks, then you can throw them at enemies, bounce off them to get higher, or even like surf on them.
Surf on concrete chunks. Okay.
Yeah. And then there are the Bonanza transformations, another layer of delightful chaos.
Right, where DK turns into different animals, Pauline sings, and boom.
Pretty much. He turns into things like a big silverback gorilla, an ostrich, a zebra, each with special powers.
So like tools for puzzles?
Kind of, yeah. Like dungeon tools in a Zelda game, maybe.
Yeah.
They unlock new paths or solve specific problems, but it's worth noting some reviews were a bit mixed here.
Oh, not all winners.
Eurogamer mentioned that maybe a good third of the available transformations have extremely limited usefulness. Like you use them once for one specific thing and that's it.
Ah, okay. Less versatile.
Right. And IGN noted they can sometimes trivialize otherwise interesting puzzles, making things maybe a bit too easy.
Right.
But they all seem to tease one maxed out form that's apparently a game-breaking, world-shattering monster. So there's big payoff somewhere.
Okay, intriguing. So beyond smashing and transforming, what's the main loop? Collecting stuff.
Collecting stuff is definitely key. You explore these multi-layered areas, called layers, basically the worlds, and you're hunting for crystalline golden bananas.
The main collectible, I assume.
Yep. And they're not just for show. Collect 5, you get a skill point. You use that to upgrade DK on a pretty sizable skill tree.
A skill tree.
Yeah.
Interesting for a platformer.
It is.
Yeah.
And you also collect smaller gold shards for items and setting up base camps, plus fossils for cosmetic costumes.
Cosmetics. Do they do anything?
They do. They also offer passive benefits, like poison resistance or health boosts. So there's a reason to hunt them down beyond just looking cool.
Gotcha.
So it creates this really compulsive loop, hunt bananas, get skills, find more bananas easier. It's quite addictive, apparently.
Sounds like it.
IGN's reviewer spent an extra 30 hours after the main story just collecting things. They called 100% completion a massive undertaking.
Wow, 30 extra hours.
Yeah. It really suggests there's always something new to find, pushing you to keep exploring and messing with the environment.
Okay, so tons of gameplay. But what about the story? You mentioned DK and Pauline. Is it just save the princess again, or?
Well, not quite save the princess. You might expect a simple plot. But Games Radar Plus called it a surprisingly charming story.
Charming, okay.
And they specifically highlighted the slowly developing friendship between Pauline and DK as downright endearing. That's pretty high praise for a platformer story.
It really is. So what's the setup?
It's classic Saturday morning cartoon stuff, really, but done well. DK teams up with Pauline, who, fun fact, was the original damsel from the arcade game.
Right, from way back.
Exactly. They team up to get stolen gold bananas back from this evil Voidco mining company. Pauline is portrayed as this little girl who does all the talking.
She talks. And DK.
DK grunts, mostly. Pauline sings to activate his Bonanza powers and helps find collectibles. She's the brains, he's the brawn, but with heart.
That dynamic seems to be a big hit then.
Huge highlight, yeah. Eurogamer mentioned her cute animation ticks and lovely bits of dialogue, especially little moments like when DK naps at a rest stop, builds their bond. And Reddit users were apparently thrilled she has full voice acting, pointing out it's been like 23 years since a Mario game had that much voice work.
Whoa, really? That long?
Yeah. Shows Nintendo's investing in her character here.
But not everyone was sold on the story's depth, right? The gamer again?
Right. The gamer felt its importance comes and goes, didn't really explain the weird mix of locations. But GameSpot basically said, shut up, don't worry about it.
Uh-huh. Blunt.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Wow.
They called it sweet-natured, focusing on the bonding. It's not precious about existing lore, functions like a soft reboot, mostly. Though there are nods for fans.
Okay, makes sense. Now the elephant in the room. Or maybe the cappy on the head.
Uh-huh, yeah. Super Mario Odyssey.
You just cannot talk about Bonanza without mentioning Odyssey, can you? Every review brings it up.
Every single one. IGN flat out called Bonanza a brilliant successor to that masterpiece.
So the connection is strong. Built on similar mechanics. The open levels, collectathon feel, the outfits.
The DNA is undeniable. You feel it. Which leads to the big question.
Is it just Odyssey with a DK skin? Or does it stand on its own?
And reviewers overwhelmingly argue it does stand on its own. It takes that Odyssey foundation, but then, punches through a mountain to forge its own path.
With the destruction mechanic being the key differentiator.
Exactly. That environmental interaction is taken to a whole new level, one that fits DK's hulking, rampaging gorilla persona perfectly.
Right.
It's not just borrowing, it's evolving the formula for DK.
So it's seen as a sort of redemption for DK in 3D, after Donkey Kong 64's mixed rep.
Very much so. A lot of critics see this as mapping out the future of the character in 3D, finally giving him a modern identity that works, separate from Mario's style.
And it still honors the past, too. You mentioned nods.
Oh yeah, big time. There are 2D challenge stages that are straight-up homages to the Donkey Kong Country games. Really capture that feel.
Nice. Fans will love that.
And new mixes of classic Rareware-era music tracks. Huge treat. But even with those nods, it leans more Mario overall.
How so?
Even IGN's reviewer, who loves Tropical Freeze, admitted Bonanza definitely leans more Mario than Donkey Kong in its core structure. More open-ended collecting, less linear precision platforming like the country games.
Interesting balance, which leads to that Reddit discussion you mentioned. The Mario bonus.
Yeah, exactly. This idea that maybe Bonanza doesn't get quite the same score heights as Odyssey simply because it stars DK, not Mario, even if it's potentially just as good.
Brand power.
It really highlights how powerful brands are, doesn't it? Shapes expectations, maybe even reception, subconsciously. Makes you think.
Definitely something to consider. Okay, so praise for innovation, fun, great character stuff, any common complaints, minor quibbles.
Yeah, nothing's perfect, right? You definitely hear about occasional camera struggles,
Yeah.
especially when you're digging deep underground, making your own tunnels. Can get a bit messy.
Okay, camera issues. Fairly standard for a 3D platformer sometimes. What about performance? Big topic for a new console launch.
Huge topic. And there are definitely mentions of performance issues. GameSpot noted noticeable performance issues with frame drops.
Oof. Where did they see the most?
Particularly near the end game, apparently, when there's lots of complex terrain deformation happening. They found it unwelcome for a banner launch game on new, stronger hardware.
Yeah, you'd hope for smooth sailing on new tech.
Dexerto and Eurogamer also reported quite severe frame rate drops, especially during certain boss battles when playing docked, pushing the visuals hardest.
Okay, so it's not perfectly smooth then, but what's the overall verdict on that? Deal breaker.
Here's the kicker. Most reviews, like IGN and Dexerto, still said these issues were never too noticeable or distracting or not egregious enough that your enjoyment will be hampered.
So noticeable, but not game-ruining for most.
Seems to be the consensus.
Yeah.
IGN had a key quote. It's easier to forgive the occasional dropped frame when it's because so much beautiful chaos is happening at once.
Ah, the ambition trade-off.
Exactly. And the ambition of this fully interactable, destructible world is definitely worth that trade-off. For many critics, the sheer coolness of what the game is doing outweighs a few stutters.
That raises an interesting point, doesn't it? What do we prioritize? Groundbreaking mechanics or perfect technical polish?
It's a constant debate. Is that ambition worth minor hiccups, especially on new hardware pushing limits? Or do those hiccups break immersion?
Some users on Metacritic seemed more bothered. Mentioned dizziness.
Yeah, if you did. Combination of camera, dynamic movement, 60 FPS, it clearly divides people.
Yeah.
But the majority of views seems to be, ambition wins this round.
Okay. What about difficulty? Is it going to make you rage quit?
Good news there, mostly. Reviews suggest the main campaign is pretty accessible. A nice game, very accessible to everyone, fairly simple to reach the end credits.
So approachable for most players initially.
Definitely. But if you're a completionist or you want that tough challenge, this game has you covered.
Ah, the post-game strikes again. Like Odyssey.
Exactly like Odyssey. Critics rave about the unforgettable finale and then extensive post-game content that really ramps things up.
How so?
IGN specifically says that the gloves truly come off after the unforgettable finale, with plenty of post-game content that continues to push you in more extreme, exciting ways.
So the hardcore challenge is there, just waiting after the credits.
Seems like it. Don't let the initial ease fool you. There's depth.
And how long are we talking to beat it versus like 100%ing it?
Main story seems to be around 20-25 hours. Pretty solid.
Yeah, good length.
But if you want every banana, every secret, every costume, you're looking at 50 hours or more. Some reviewers easily sank that much time in.
50+ hours. Wow.
Yeah, it's clear Nintendo built this to reward deep dives. Exploration, mastering mechanics, finding everything.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the final verdict for someone listening, thinking about picking this up?
Well, the consensus is just overwhelmingly positive. This is an excellent, genuinely inventive 3D platformer. It takes that Nintendo polish we expect.
Right.
and applies it to a really cool, groundbreaking destruction mechanic. It feels fresh.
People called it delightful, inventive, a delirious destruction derby.
Yeah. And for many, a must-buy system seller for the Switch 2. It's chaotic, random, kind of weird sometimes, but in the best possible way.
And it seems to successfully reinvent DK for a new era while still respecting his past. Delivers tons of ideas, that charming story.
Exactly. Sure, maybe a few technical stutters here and there. Maybe not every transformation is a game changer.
Minor stuff in the grand scheme.
For most, yeah. The ambition, the creativity, and just the pure fun seem to shine through. It really shows Nintendo's still at the top of their game in this genre.
So the final thought, then, this game's success linked so closely to the Odyssey team.
Right. It raises this really fascinating question for you, the listener, to mull over.
What's that?
Does Donkey Kong Bananza finally solidify DK as a true 3D platforming icon, right up there with Mario, with his own distinct style?
Yeah.
Or does it maybe just prove that Nintendo's top platforming team is simply unstoppable no matter which mascot they put front and center?
Is it the character's triumph or the developers?
Yeah. Does it matter who's wearing the tie or the cap if the underlying design brilliance is the same? Maybe we should just appreciate the innovation itself rather than always comparing it back to Mario. Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought. What stands out to you about this deep dive? Well, on that note, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
And join us next time on Game Scope.